We're gonna start doing this once a month and kind of give you guys, keep you guys in the loop in terms of what's going on in the sports world from a legal perspective, and of course, in the past, this guy always shows up and gives us a little joke of, I guess, litigation in terms of what's going on in sports. But so happy to have back with us Gregory R. Williams, GRW Law, right in the building. What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Man, always ready to go. So let's get into a couple of topics that we're going to talk about. I got a couple of questions. Dartmouth is they have this major deal that happened in terms of making their athletes pretty much unionizing them and maybe become employees or something. Talk about that real quickly.
Yeah, so there's the National Labor Relations Board ruled recently that Dartmouth players could vote to unionize. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of trying to do away with the student athlete model, and they want to transition to be called student employees. So some of the interesting things about that situation is Dartmouth is part of the Ivy League, so they don't give out athletic scholarships. So that makes a little bit of difference in how this is being interpreted, where you don't have a student athlete in the general sense that's on a scholarship and things of that nature. So they would be able to be treated as employees, which means they can determine their work environment, their travel arrangements, things of that nature. And some of the things that went into the ruling was the board determined that they perform work in exchange for revenue, even though a lot of Ivy League sports teams don't necessarily generate profit, but they did determine that they generate work for revenue. You may recall in 2014, Northwestern tried to do the same thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was denied because it singled out some athletes, and all the athletes weren't eligible. They kind of made sure they didn't make the same mistake this time, and they included all the athletes at Dartmouth in this decision. So there's also an ongoing case with against USC in the Pac-12 regarding the same thing. So that case is ongoing as well. So you may see.
So you think this going to become, I guess, start trending
kind of
throughout?
Snowball effect.
Yeah. You think that's going to happen?
Yeah. So there's other athletes that are trying to join into the Dartmouth
Gotcha.
Effort as well. So it's going to potentially change the landscape of private college sports going forward. Now, of course, Dartmouth has appealed this ruling, so that's going to drag out legally.
It's funny as you say that. I know Chip Kelly all of a sudden just left UCLA.
Yeah,
he's damn head coach.
Right.
Right.
Think about it. We're sitting here. It's February, and they ready to start spring practice. I'm bouncing. Right. I'm going to be OC in the NFL because, and then Nick never said it, but I think a lot of these coaches are like, man, there's just too much going on in college sports. Period.
Yeah, I think you may have seen it was an interview. I can't remember where the coach was from, but it wasn't a big school, and he said he had this third string running back coming in his postseason meeting. Saying I need 100,000.
No, it was a big school. That was what's our boy in Maryland? Lockley.
Was it
Yeah. So that was him.
Yeah. He was talking about recruiting.
Third string. He won 100 G's.
I mean, you got it. You got it.
Don't hate me because you got it.
I'm saying you got it. I mean, look, closed mouth don't get fed.
But if you're coming from the old regime like Saban and some of these other guys, they're used to having total control.
Yeah, they're like, man, forget this.
Yeah, so they don't want to deal with that.
So how good are you then? If you got to have total control to be effective like that, how good are you?
No,
it's a different skill set.
Yeah, there you go.
You have to.
Okay.
There you
it's
go.
different when you're managing employees.
There you go.
Versus
That's
you're
right.
managing.
Then threatening
kids.
people all the time, and people that have no choice, they have to be there. They
you
feel
go.
controlled all the time. Versus people that want to operate under your leadership.
Exactly.
That's different.
Yeah, you have to. There's a power share when you're dealing with employees.
Yeah, so I have no Peter for none of them that's out there struggling. If you can't if you can't manage your organization, because look, those of us on this side that don't get opportunity to make millions and millions of dollars by leading people each and every day. Look, guess what? We got to figure that out from day one.
Yeah.
Right.
You've had the stick for so long. You don't know if you any good or not.
Exactly.
But what we do.
And the interesting thing is, part of the study of this Labor Relations Board decision, they determined that Dartmouth athletes were working over 40 hours a week at their craft.
Absolutely.
And the USC lawsuit, they were working over 50 hours.
Wow.
And the NCAA limit is 20 hours per week.
Pay me my money.
So, they're working 40 and 50 hours. They're working a job.
I see why they got a union there.
Exactly.
You better have a union.
Exactly.
Yeah, they get some benefits.
Yeah, something's not
Get
fair
my
about
benefits.
Working the mill, you better unionize.
Hey, look.
That's some serious overtime in the mill.
Exactly.
Hey, look. One of them
That
guys
puts you in a different tax bracket right
I'm just
there.
wondering what the back pay is like. Can
No,
we go back to the
exactly.
90s?
that part.
Can everybody get paid?
Look, that one guy in that class say, but if this is the law, I think we need to have another conversation because I think this school owes me some money.
Yeah,
if this is the law.
Yeah, we need somebody to look out for the umps,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Greg, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm not asking for myself. I'm asking for my friends
Uh-oh.
that's interested in legalized gambling. So if
Right,
you could
right.
give us like an update and the impact of that on the NCAA.
Right. Well, that is coming down the pike. Currently, gambling is illegal.
Almost a month from now, March 11th.
March 11th,
Yeah,
correct.
almost a month from now.
Yeah. So right now, gambling is a Class 2 misdemeanor, punishable up to 60 days in jail plus a $1,000 fine. But it's being legalized, and just in time for, you guessed it,
March Madness.
NCAA tournament.
There you go. We
so
missed
that-
the Super Bowl, though.
Yeah, we
missed the
did.
Super Bowl.
But some people did it. Some people probably still.
Some people still got it.
Yeah.
well, they weren't here.
Right. So there are some brick and mortar places where you can place gambles. The Cherokee Casinos out west in the western part of the state, as well as there's a venue at the PNC Arena. So there are some brick and mortar places, but the online gambling is set to go live March 11th. So everyone can do that without fear of legal repercussions. There are some limitations. You have to be over 21, and you can't bet on high school sports legally.
Wow. I wouldn't even want to take that chance.
Right.
High school?
Yeah, really. Yeah, I'm with you.
High school sports, I'm like,
I
maybe the
don't think-
basketball I can see where people may, but
Right.
I wouldn't bet on a high school football game you pay me. Like high school?
Right.
I don't know.
If you guys know, LT Gray is making his reappearance
Sunday.
on the tour.
I saw
This-
Jen. What's it? What's Genesis? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
This is the Genesis that was almost the Omega or the Revelation, the first book versus the last book of the Bible. This is the tournament.
I'm like, well, try to see he's gone. I'm with you.
Right. Yeah, this is the tournament where he almost lost his life, where he drove off the cliff.
Yes.
In
Saved his life.
California.
The last accident, we went off the cliff.
Yeah,
and,
right.
It was leaving this tournament.
Oh wow.
So he's back. He's back with new gear. As you realize,
Sunday.
he's
So
no longer with Nike.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I was going to ask you about that. So did Nike tell him that they didn't want to be involved anymore, or he told Nike?
him. He told him that.
Well,
Okay.
Nike's
was a
also
mutual.
been kind of retreating from golf.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're no longer in the golf business. And he was wearing FootJoy shoes during his return.
And he
So-
was playing
TaylorMade club.
TaylorMade clubs,
Who
playing a
owns this
Bridgestone
logo?
ball.
Who owns the logo? Does he own the logo, or is that Nike owns the logo?
So
Okay.
it's interesting that he came up with a new logo for this brand.
That's why I asked that question.
So it's making me think that Nike owned his previous.
So
logo.
you seen the logo? You seen the new logo?
Sunday Red.
Yeah, and it's
Oh,
it
that's
looks
the name
kind of
of it?
weird. It's a tiger, but it's a tiger with all these with 15 stripes
That's right.
to represent each one of his
Nice.
majors.
Talk to him, Greg. Tell him.
So,
Tell him what my boy done, Greg.
So-
He should have put 19 on there, not 15.
Right.
Hey, look. Ain't no wrong putting another dot later.
Yeah. So he owns
always
this.
change.
He does own this trademark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this Sunday Red, and it's SUNDAY Red.
Okay.
So it's
That's
not
right.
Sunday. It's Sunday Red. The whole story with red being his power color. His mom put him on. With that. But this is going to be a standalone company
And red's not just the color, by the way.
sponsored by TaylorMade.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. That's hot.
Yeah. So it's kind of going to be kind of like
That's
the Jordan
hot,
brand.
man. The tiger with those.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah,
there,
that's
man.
tight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
yeah.
that goes to
Yeah.
that shows the importance of owning your stuff. You own your trademark,
You gotta tell
owning
us.
your name, things of that nature. When you go into these contracts, that's important because
Have you
wanna
purchased
lead.
yours yet? I guess I know you, Mister. You got to be on the leading edge. You got your Sunday apparel yet?
I do not. I do not.
Hey, look, don't worry. I'm on the list.
Yeah,
Oh, you on the
yeah.
list?
I'm on the list.
It's probably a waiting list.
Yes, it's wait. Yeah, you can sign up. Go ahead and sign up.
Wow.
But
Wow,
some
okay.
people don't have to purchase stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's other ways. Ambassadors.
Yeah, ambassador.
That's how you do it.
Well, the first problem with that is
Brand ambassador. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
it's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
That's the first issue. Brand ambassador.
right. But it does go to show the importance of owning your trademark
Yeah.
and things of that nature. Because if he owned the Tiger Woods brand logo, I'm guessing that would be the new logo.
Yeah.
But we're, like I said, is off with the new venture, and the PGA Tour also is, if you familiar with it, they've gotten a new infusion of cash of over like $3.4 billion to kind of compete with the Saudis and the LIV Tour.
LIV tour. Yeah.
And the players will now have an ownership interest in the tour. So the tour is going to be an entity.
You think that's gonna kind of cut off the people from jumping over to LIV, or will some of the guys come back? What's going to happen with that?
I think it'll stop I think if this was done before,
Yeah.
it would have stopped it a long time ago.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it'll stop some of the guys from jumping the ship now, and then they're still in talks of how they're going to work together to kind of bring, the best golfers in the world back under one tent, under one umbrella. I think golf is suffering right now.
Look at what happened to golf in this country in the last 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at what happened to golf and what they refused to acknowledge. They refused to change. They refused to adapt.
Right.
Then came Live, and they still wanted to refuse. And now look at where they are now.
They
They're
adapted. Yeah.
I say that to say, NIL, transfer portal, you better pay attention. All of this, I'm not changing this thing. It's ruining sports. You better stop with that, and you better start figuring out how to adapt, change, and make it work.
Well, and I think adaptation is important, but I think they got to do something, some kind of governing. I'm not saying
course.
control, but govern this thing because it gets.
Get in the game.
Yeah.
But you can't stand on the outside and say, well, if I ain't got complete control, you wrong for wanting to have a portion of the control.
And the NCAA is still trying to get Congress to step in.
Yeah,
because they want somebody else to be the bad guy.
And
See what I'm saying? They always want
wanna
somebody else to
eliminate
have a stick.
competition.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to prevent the
Exactly.
employee status.
But real quick, did you
Within
guys speaking of crazy stuff, waste management too? You seen the waste management?
You mean the Super Bowl of
the
golf?
16th hole.
Yeah. So I'm watching the clip. It's a guy.
It's ridiculous.
It's the golf going on. A guy over there with a hot dog in one hand and taking a leak in the other. I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
That's going on.
It's
It's
spring break on steroids.
I mean,
it's out of control right now.
That's
It's
one of
literally
the problems
out
that
of control
they had a weather lady and everybody was drinking during the weather. That didn't help at all either.
It got bad.
Waste
It got
management,
bad.
it's
out of
crazy.
control. It's out of control now.
Yeah.
I mean, we went from having three little stands behind it with with people that could attend with a box.
Can you see the
Now-
whole thing, man?
Yeah, now it's the size of the PNC Arena.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. I played in that venue
Yeah.
No,
in Phoenix, yeah.
TPC,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out.
in November.
Show off.
See,
A couple of years ago.
See that?
Show off.
He
So they
showed
were
it.
setting up
showed
for it.
off.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can see the stadiums. Oh, it's a marvelous.
You done now?
Yeah. No. He really
You
done.
done-
you done now?
He really done because we got to go.
Yeah.
But Greg,
But if